Hey everyone, so I'm going to start today's video off with a question. How many times in life do you let your fears stop you from doing the things that you want to do in life? Today on DittDott, while I'm making my absolutely favorite soup, chicken tortilla soup, we're going to dive into what causes fears and how you might be able to overcome them. Now keep in mind, I am not a neuroscientist, but I have done a lot of work in personal development and I have some tools that could help you. And if they do, that's awesome. And if not, you got a really good chicken tortilla soup recipe at the end. So let's get started. I absolutely love black caramel tea. Love it. All right, let's get cooking. Chicken tortilla soup is one of my absolute favorite soups. You might ask yourself why I haven't made this as a video yet. And part of the reason for that is because I pretty much make it different every time. And so I'm like, it's hard to find one that you just want to immortalize onto your channel. So that's not saying that I won't have more versions of chicken tortilla soup up on this channel in the future. Anyway, so fears. So I'm just starting off with a bell pepper. Oh, again, because I make this so many different ways, there's a million ways you can make this suit your taste. So red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, orange, whatever. Just kind of go with the flow here, right? So again, fears. First, we got to start talking about your brain. So again, not a neuroscience, but your brain has different lobes, right? You've heard this before. And one of the things in your brain is called your amygdala. Your amygdala, I like to think of as your caveman brain. It is there to make sure that you survive. And one of the jobs of the amygdala is to have the flight or fight response. So your fears come from when your amygdala gets triggered and tells you, danger, danger, get out. And your amygdala is powerful enough that it will take over the logic region of your brain. So if there's a lion, we're going to be talking about lions a lot here. If there is a lion in your room, your amygdala, most likely, unless you're maybe Steve Irwin or something, is going to go off and it's going to say, flight, 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 danger, danger, get out of here. And your logic brain isn't even going to stop. It's just going to get you out of that situation, right? That's what the amygdala is there for. It is to keep you safe. So why do we have fears like things like public speaking? Public speaking, oh, I thought I grabbed more vegetables. Let me go grab an onion. So public speaking, for instance, is a common fear of a lot of people. I am very lucky that I don't have that fear. Although if I do think about it too hard, I think everyone does to some degree. Anyway, public speaking is going to put yourself, like if it's something you've never done before, it's going to put yourself in a new situation. So your amygdala says, you have survived this far into your life. You've never had to public speak. Why do that? Let's just keep you safe. Let's not do new things. Let's just keep the status quo. Fear, fear, fear. There is a lion in the room. So instead of it seeing a row of people out there, it's seeing lions, lions, lions. So your logic brain, again, gets taken over by your amygdala, and you just say, I have a fear of public speaking. And you do not want to talk in front of people. Well, if you can take a time to let your amygdala know that there is indeed no lions in the room, just people, harmless people. They all have the same fear as you, by the way. They're all looking at other people, seeing lions, 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 when in truth, just people, just people. So you need to take time to get your logic center of your brain to tell your amygdala, these are not lions. If at most, it's a photo of a lion. It's not a real lion. I am safe. So what your logic center of your brain needs to tell your amygdala over and over and over until it believes it, I am safe. Okay, I'm gonna grab some garlic. You know what? I'm kind of not feeling this garlic cloves today. They are tiny. Like I can't, these are the tiniest garlic cloves in the world. I've got some jarred garlic, so we're going that route. Did I even introduce myself? I think I was so excited to get into starting this video that I did not even say my name. My name is Amanda, and on this channel, I like to do some motivational talks while we're cooking. So pull up a seat, and I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get times when I upload future videos. So good. Okay, I'm gonna start. So I got a big pot because I want to make a lot today. So one of my tips when you're making soup from scratch, if you pick what size pot you want the end product is, it helps you gauge how many of ingredients to use. Like if I was starting with a smaller pot, I would probably only use maybe half a bell pepper, kind of thing like that. Okay, so I'm just throwing down some avocado oil. It's an oil that I like to use a lot, but you know, I also use olive oil quite often. So whatever oil that you prefer cooking with. And we're gonna go ahead and get these onions and that I just chopped, diced up, and this bell pepper in. Oh man, yeah, this soup, I have quick versions of it. I have like slow, like let's develop the flavor versions. Like just depends on what my mood is, what ingredients I have that day. That's how I cook my chicken tortilla soup. And then this squeeze of butter, squeeze garlic, because I just don't feel like peeling garlic cloves today. And in this kind of recipe, the squeeze garlic is good. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. You can never have too much garlic until you do, and then, yeah. So I'm gonna give this a quick stir. So what about fears that, like, you know, legit could be bad, right? So like a lot of people have fear of dogs. Maybe in your past when you were a kid, some dog came up and chased you, maybe even bit you, you know, legit fear, right? So that's where, again, your logic part of your brain really needs to kick in. And you need to be able to, so this is some oregano. You need to tell yourself, if you are like approaching a dog and you have a fear and it is stopping you from doing something that you want to do in life, like maybe you really like somebody, but they own a dog and you're like, I really love this person. They don't want to get rid of their dog. I want to get to know them better, but dog. So your logic center of your brain can say, this dog is safe. I am safe. This dog is not going to hurt me. This dog is not a lion. Not paprika. What am I doing? So, so I put in oregano and cumin. Now we put onions and garlic in, but I like to double it up with dry. I think it just makes the broth taste that much more flavorful when you've got dried onion powder and dried garlic powder into the broth itself. So I think that's all we're gonna do for our spices right now. It's already smelling like chicken tortilla soup. So good. Let me show you what we got going. I like to put the spices in at this point because, especially dried herbs and spices like this, it gives them a chance to kind of sort of get toasted in the oil and awaken them up. And your nose will tell you that you've done a good job there. Okay, so at this point, we've got our onions, our bell pepper, our yummy spices. I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes. This one happens to be fire roasted, so that's really yummy if you can find this kind. Otherwise, just petite diced or even stewed tomatoes. Like, you know, you just want to get some tomatoes in here. The fire roasted though just adds that good fire. I don't know, I like a smoky flavor to my tortilla soup. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna add, and I'll put a link in the description box below. This is smoked salt, and it is just a way to kick your recipes up to the next level if you are doing something out on the grill, or especially indoors that you want to have a smoked flavor. I don't like liquid smoke. I don't understand what it is. It kind of creeps me out, the idea of liquid smoke. But this is actual, just real salt that they smoke, and it departs an amazing flavor throughout your dish. So I love this stuff. Okay, so salt, we got the onions. Okay, and then I'm gonna open up a can of beans, and I'm gonna go ahead and drain them because I don't like that the black bean liquid in here kind of makes your dish kind of muddy looking, just color-wise, if you don't drain them. But if you're going quick, then you could totally put the liquid into the pot too. And if I was making a smaller pot, again, like I might use half this can and then use the rest of the can later in the week in like a chicken bowl or something like that. I'm really into like the bowls, like the Buddha bowls and those kind of things. Okay, so this is a little less than a cup of rice. Actually, I'm gonna do like 3/4 of a cup of rice-ish. I always put too much rice, and then the second day my soup is like a stew because the rice just keeps growing. Okay, so let's look at what we got. Stir this and get it nice and coated. I'm gonna add some frozen corn. Yum. And then we're gonna add some chicken broth. So this is like half a container that I had in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna use it up first. And then I'm gonna use this. And then whatever, if I need more liquid, I will just add water. And then let's go ahead and start talking chicken. Okay, so if you've got leftover chicken, like leftover shredded chicken, add it at the end of like after the time your vegetables have had time to cook. If you have some chicken breasts that are whole, you can add them whole to the broth here and simmer them for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, somewhere around there until they're cooked all the way through, and then pull them out and then either just cut them or shred them and put them back in the soup. My chicken is like in a giant frozen block today because I forgot to take it out of the freezer last night. So I'm gonna opt for canned chicken today. I actually really like this stuff. This particular brand that I buy, store brand, but it just has chicken, water, and salt. No other preservatives or anything like that. So I love this stuff. Now you notice I have not added any kind of chili peppers, cayenne, anything like that. Jalapenos, poblanos, anything spicy. Please do so to your heart's content at the same time that you are doing the onions and bell pepper. If you're doing like a whole pepper, or if you're doing seasonings, you can put it in at that time. My family really doesn't like spicy food, so I like to make this soup just as a flavorful Mexican soup without any heat. Now, that being said, after they serve their portions, I'm going to add some of this. This is chipotle peppers in adobe sauce. I just add a little bit to the soup after they pull out their portion. It will spice it up in another smoky, delicious way. And oh my gosh, so delicious. All right, let me get this chicken in. So I just drained these. So back to fears really quick. So the fear response is good. We don't want to get rid of the fear response. It keeps us safe. If you were walking downtown at night and you know there's a shortcut down an alleyway and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm so tired, I just want to go down this alleyway, and your amygdala starts going off, danger, 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 don't go down this alleyway. Yeah, it's probably good to listen to that gut instinct and not go down that alley. Your amygdala is trying to keep you safe. Your logic brain should say, bad things could happen down dark alleyways at night, right? Maybe not, but possibly, right? But if you are just like in a spot where you're like, okay, I need to speak in front of people, or for me, one of my big personal fears is fear of failure. I don't want to look like I didn't meet my goals. I'm a very big goal-oriented person. I like to set my goals. And so sometimes I won't even try something because I'm so scared of failing. But then it's like logic brain tells me if I fail that goal, I'm still safe. So tell yourself, I am safe. It's okay. Do the thing. And this isn't easy. It's not something that you're going to be able to do right away, most likely. But your logic brain, you have control over. Your amygdala is like your heart, and your breathing. You don't have control over that amygdala response. It is literally part of that system that is there just to keep you safe. But you can override your amygdala by telling your amygdala, like I like to think of it as two people. Your logic brain can say, okay, I got ya. You think I'm in danger. I really hear you, amygdala, but I am safe. I'm okay, and I can talk to this crowd of people. I can try this thing that I might fail at, and I can meet this dog because the person that talked to me told me that this dog is safe. Let's give this a taste. I'm trying to think of some other fears. Fear of heights is another big one. It's a good fear, right? So good. I don't even need to add any more salt because that smoked salt was good. If you're on the very, very edge of a cliff, your amygdala might go off and say, danger, danger, danger. And your logic brain should say, amygdala, you're right. Let's step back. We are in a dangerous spot. But if you're riding a glass elevator and your amygdala is going off and saying, oh, I'm going up high, danger, danger, your logic brain should tell you, logically speaking, in a elevator, you got to consider yourself that you're most likely safe. So amygdala, I understand you're scared. This is scary. We're going up high. You can see way down low, but we are safe. We are safe. All right. I'm going to let this simmer. We want the rice to cook through. I'm gonna that's the main thing. Let me show you up close. The rice is going to thicken this soup a little bit, but if you really like your soup even more thick, you can add some corn flour to the broth, and that will give it even more of like a stew texture. Sometimes I like that, and sometimes I like it more soupy. I think today I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna let it simmer, and then we will come back and plate it up and taste it. I'm cooking it early today so that I can have this for lunch and for dinner tonight. So it's been simmering for about 20-30 minutes. It doesn't have to go that long. Like I said, I started cooking it kind of early today, and so I just had it on low, but our rice is all cooked and it is thickened up a little bit, as you can tell from before. So I hope that my talk with you on overcoming your fears kind of get your brain starting to think about it, and that you don't have to let fear rule your life, and just take the time to use your logic brain and decide if it is an actual, legit, there is a lion in the room fear, or if there's just a photo of a lion, no fear here, I am safe. All right, I can't wait to taste this. So like I said, I actually do like a little heat to mine. So you can add just hot sauce, or like I said, these adobe, they're really spicy, but I'm just gonna actually use some of the liquid from the can and stir it in. And then after my family serves theirs, I'll add some more of this just to the pot, because I'm gonna be the one that eats all the leftovers. But like you said, I just used a tiny bit. But what I do when I open a new can is I store it in a Ziploc bag, and I will freeze this, and I'll try to freeze it kind of flat, and then it becomes like a block, and you can actually just with your knife chop off sections that you want to use. So just a really good, make sure you label it though, and just kind of store it flat in your freezer. So I'm gonna stir in some of that, and then whatever cheese you like, Monterey Jack, cheddar, whatever. This is Monterey. Put some cheese on top and a couple of pieces of avocado. Sour cream is good in this, cilantro, you can add so many toppings to customize this soup. It's so fun. I'm gonna add some tortillas because it is chicken tortilla soup, right? All right, so I'm adding in some cilantro, and then I'm going to kind of crunch up my tortilla chips into this bowl, give the cheese a good stir, make it pretty for presentation, and then yummy. Okay, let's give this a taste. Oh, when the cheese strings up like that, you got a good soup. So satisfying. This is like my ultimate comfort food. I am just obsessed with chicken tortilla soup. Love it. so much. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Had to sneak another bite in there. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you clicked on this video and maybe spend some time thinking about this, and make sure you comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this subject. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.